Hello.
Hello. Gotcha.
And welcome to Wyverns and Weirdos, a D&D podcast set in the world of Fierlor. And as in case you can't tell by the release date down below and the hats on our heads, in many of our cases, and you can't quite see it in Zoe's video, but her shirt. This episode is releasing the week of Christmas, precisely the 21st. I don't think does anyone have any out of the ordinary announcements?
Just Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening through with us for the year.
Yeah.
We know this year has been a little difficult, and we've had a few changes production-wise. So thank you all for sticking with us, and we hope you're enjoying it. And if you are, we're going to keep bringing content to you because we love doing that. So thank you.
Happy holidays, and thank you very much. Like, literally, if you've been listening from the start, this is your second year with us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's been, about a year and a half of constant releases.
We hope you're still enjoying it all as much as we have been. And also happy whatever holiday you do celebrate, because we are very aware that we're all so super white and so whatever you follow, whoever you believe in, I hope you're spending and are able to spend time with the people you love. And if you're not, I hope you're getting to do this sort of Zoom.
Yeah. Whether it be Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, I'm sure there's a fourth one that I'm forgetting.
We could have Derby count off every single religious holiday, but that would just be another 4 years of content. So we won't do that.
If you're
on milestone,
more D&D content instead.
if you're,
I'd pay for it.
If you're from the world of Fierlor, you would have just finished celebrating the Festival of Wine.
That sounds great.
Yeah, happy Festival of Wine, everyone.
I know I'm going to be having a fun little Festival of Wine to myself come Christmas, or our Christmas.
Wine. I've just had the Festival of Wine just like complaining to people.
That makes so much more sense.
Also, if you haven't got a Christmas gift yet, I would highly recommend Birdie's Elixir. It will change your life. It gets rid of death curses. It does your hair, makes you sparkle. Just gives you that inner pizzazz.
We are gonna have to work out how to make this actual merch at some point.
Yeah, it's cordial.
We've been saying that since we started.
It's true.
One day we'll
doesn't make it less true.
Yeah.
If you have any events, Ross is available. She's got a business card. Let's talk.
And also, I know that this time of year can be really hard for some people, and probably especially hard this year. So please take care of yourself. Reach out to people if you need to. There's plenty of resources around everywhere, and there are plenty of people who care about you. So be kind to yourselves, and let us drive you through Christmas if that's what you need. Go back and watch old episodes, tweet us, message us.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah. We might also be well enough ahead that we might have, on top of the regular campaign and Curse of Strahd, we might have some extra stuff. We might not. Who knows? But
least of all us.
Yes. Last year the Christmas special was very last minute. This year it might be again. This year we might also alternatively get off for
I want in this one.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Oh yeah, there's D&D happening at some point now, isn't there?
Yeah. No.
Oh, I thought this was just a talk show. Go. We should do one of those. Make that like a Patreon stretch goal or something. Definitely. I don't know if they have Patreon stretch goals.
Yeah. That is.
If they do.
Anyway.
Talk show.
Yeah. Apologies if my mic just picked up my neighbour's horn then. It's the horn of whatever religious holiday spirit that you follow, that are coming and bringing you presents or whatever other thing they bring you. And totally not just because my neighbors are dicks.
Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into another episode of Wyverns and Weirdos. And we're back. So, where we last left off, the party went to the city of Deosil and ran through the streets to try to get to the Temple of Fethys in order to return the Shadow Seal Shard. They managed to get there, mostly avoiding combat, but there were a few little scrapes along the way, including a Gith who died by attacking Bertie at one point. And upon returning the shard, the party were gifted boons from Fethys as a thank you, and Bertie's link to Fethys was not quite severed, but changed in a very intrinsic way that was less dependent on Fethys. Same with his warlock abilities and his connection to Zorthram Tathara being severed, thus returning him and Caius to their pre-death curse state, with some lessons learnt along the way. And then, they subsequently fought a dragon and its Githyanki rider, and a few Githyanki foot soldiers, where Anya used the ruby rod of the Packmaster to unleash Hafren as this vicious pit fiend.
Much to Darby's just pure exhaustion of who I am as a player.
Honestly, I loved it, but I realized just how OP the first draft ended up being. But yeah, and then after that, there were a lot of kind of deep and meaningful conversations, and culminating in one of those conversations being interrupted by a concerned gentleman who ran a local tavern, who turned out to be one of Bertie's guardians when he was growing up. So, and despite Bertie's ridiculous disguise, courtesy of Caius, just really going wild with the description, Bertie's other guardian was able to very easily see through the magic of disguise self and gifted Bertie a pouch of what seems to be coin and a letter from his parents. And and Ross organized that she would perform in exchange for room and board. So that was where we left off. What are people wanting to do? So Ross, you don't have to perform straight away, but they will try to get you to get up there for a set sooner rather than later.
Yeah, well,
maybe during happy hour.
I mean, Ross is still kind of mad that this guy interrupted the conversation with Anya that she and Neumann were having. So she's kind of doing that thing where you do your job really well, but it's aggressively really well. Like, you're doing it to prove that you're angry about it. So, like, you know, as soon as he took her to the tavern, she went in, she assessed the mood of the room. She didn't start right away. She kind of blended in through the crowd. And then this is even like, I don't know when the party's going to come in. You guys can decide when the party comes in. But Ross is just kind of in the middle of the audience. If there is any kind of stage area, she's not going near it yet. She's just in the middle of the crowd. And then she's just going to like lean against like a supporting beam. There was a bog, a rattling bog. It was a rare bog and a rattling bog. Then she throws her tambourine over her shoulder and catches it with her tail. And the bog down in the valley, oh, roll the rattling bog. The bog down in the valley, oh, rare bog, rattling bog. The bog down in the valley, oh. And she's going to do the whole thing and kind of encourage people to clap along. And
considering we pre-rolled your performance check, they very much do. It was a high roll.
It was a 33.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do the whole song. You listeners can hear the whole song in the background, but it's one of those very long build-on songs. So she's just jumping around, engaging with people. If there's any kids who come downstairs, she's getting them super involved as well. And that's kind of that's the first song of her set, and she's just going to continue in the background during any scenes you guys do. She might pop in occasionally, but she's mostly doing that aggressively.
Yeah. So as those who, well, I guess Neumann and Anya would have gotten in at the same time as Ross. Bertie and Caius.
Not Anya.
Oh no.
Anya went and got.
Yeah, that's right. So
and Neumann went and got everyone too. So.
Okay. Yeah. So the four of you arrive at the same time, and you see Ross performing a song and really getting into things, and the crowd is going, and of course went to the counter to collect the keys, where Bertie's disguise was very easily seen through because of how frankly ridiculous it was. And you were gifted. you were given 2 sets of keys and the letter and the pouch.
Yeah, and Bertie had to open up that letter and start to read it, and anyone that's observing him, like while he's doing it, like tears would once again well up in his eyes, and while he's reading it, and then I guess like for a moment, if anyone's paying particular attention, like some of his extremities, like his hair and the tips of his ears start to ice over again. They kind of then just a few flowers sprout from that, as like the glamour type stuff warps around him, and then he kind of just goes and then just like folds up the letter and then just kind of just stands there and just looks at the, like looks down at the counter, like holding like the letter and like the little bag, and then his ears kind of like prick down again, I suppose. That's what he does.
Okay.
While this beautiful song is going on in the background very raucously.
Yeah.
But yeah. And yeah.
What is everyone else doing?
Well, Caius was going to sort of pay a little bit of attention to Bertie, because obviously Bertie is experiencing emotion. So once, Bertie is okay, he'll probably like put a comforting hand on her shoulder. But then he's just going to sort of look around the tavern, and his shoulders are just going to sort of slump a little bit. And he's going to order an ale.
Ooh, interesting.
Just whatever is.
Yeah. Probably.
Ross opened a tab, Darby.
Okay. Yeah. So that will be noted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bertie will also like look up, like kind of like screw up the little like letter and the pouch and shove it in his pockets, but like accept Kaiser's hand on his shoulder. And I guess like Kaiser says like, two, I'll have one too, please.
Okay, so yeah, you're each given an ale. Bertie, you recognise from like the tap that it was pulled from that this is a reasonably nice ale. It's not the most expensive ale that they have, but it's probably a little nicer than they would typically draw as the default. If someone just asked non-discriminately for ale.
What does the bar look like? Is it the same, or have they renovated it extensively? But you would know the bar very well, after all.
Yeah, not. Yes and no. So, if there's been extensive renovations, it's hard to tell because it looks mostly the same. It looks nicer and in better nick than it was when you were working here. So they've obviously done some sort of renovations to the counter itself and the bar area, but in doing so, they've mostly kept the aesthetic here the same.
Excellent. So interesting. So he just kind of watching things with big eyes. But he does stick close to Caius.
You notice the shelves behind are in a more a slightly similar style, but with a bit more carving and filigree to them. Just nothing too expensive, but just a little bit nicer, a little bit, and there's probably a few more shelves as well. Just
fair enough.
Just
nice.
And looking through, like you see, there's probably a little bit more variety in
nice
in beverage choice.
Cool.
Yeah.
And he connects that. He's like, this is pretty good stuff.
Neumann is going to order 2 drinks.
All right.
Let's make them wine.
All right.
Now, what are the conditions of this tab? Because he doesn't want to abuse it, but he also wants to get Symphonian wine. So, he's happy to. Is the tab like free drinks up to $10, and then any more? 10. It is 10 silver pieces, and then the rest you pay, or
it's. So I believe the idea was that it was to be basically this running tab to be settled based on
how much Ross
he himself buys 2 glasses of Symphonian wine from his own at his own expense.
Okay, so those for just a glass, it's probably 2 silver.
All right, 4 silver. Goodbye. So yeah, he orders 2 glasses of Symphonian wine, and he's getting real like square dance vibes from this song that's going on, like heel and toe sort of situation. And what he's going to do is he's going to take the 2 glasses, one in each hand, and he's going to like waltz over to a certain individual. He is going to go looking for Anya.
You're going to have to roll a perception check, buddy, because I've been waiting to tell Darby what my stealth check is for her to slide into
do I have inspiration?
Into an inconspicuous corner and just be as out of sight as possible, which I've already rolled it, and it's a 25, which is the minimum of what she can roll.
22.
22. Yeah. It's tricky.
That was very possible. I guess he's just going to continuously dance around the room for numerous laps with 2 glasses of wine until either he finds what he's looking for or he finishes the first glass.
Okay.
And then he will finish the second glass. But he's just going to sort of like dance around by himself, like spinning in the circle, like sort of like that.
I mean, for the time...
As he goes around the room.
For the time spent, I'll allow you to roll a second time at disadvantage.
That's fine. I got a 23, and a 16.
Yeah.
So that's a no-go.
So no. Slightly better. So you briefly saw someone who in green that you thought might have been Anya.
Yep. And he goes to hand out the glass and be like, Anya! And keeps on dancing away.
Ross definitely comes up to at one point, just like, the bog down in the valley, oh. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for Anya. I wanted to, I don't know, have a dance, give her a drink, but I can't see her. I've done numerous laps. You've probably noticed.
She's hard to perceive when she wants to be.
Yes. Rogues. Am I right?
Yeah. And in that nest there was an egg, a rare egg, a rattling egg. And off she goes. But Ross is gonna look for Anya while she goes around.
Yeah.
Then, and if she sees Anya, she's gonna point Neumann in her direction.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
Which dice? Glitter boys, help me. A natural 20 with my perception. Where the fuck is my perception? 26.
Oh.
So basically, you needed a 19 or a 20 to do this.
Yes. I'm not very perceptive. But as soon as Ross spots Anya, she's going to dance back around to Neumann. And the bog down in the valley, oh, she's over in that corner. And like, kind of point, give him directions to where she's hiding.
Yeah.
Neumann does like a massive squint to see at such a distance. And he's going to just close in on the corner. Does he eventually see Anya, or has Anya become aware of that she's been identified?
Basically, what she's done is she's like, the stealth was just for her to get in without any of you guys noticing, and for her to just be able to set herself down in a quiet corner. And she's like out of it. She's maybe there's even like a patron who's trying to chat her up, like sitting there trying to chat her up, and she's just unresponsive, and he's just still going, and she's just like glazed over.
All right. Well, Neumann is now going to be stealthy. He's going to sneak behind patron to another patron to another patron as he gets closer and closer to Anya, because this is sort of abnormal. He's like, Anya's very fast. If Anya wants to run, she can. So he's trying to, I don't know, catch her before she does that if she wants to run away. So he's going to sneakily come up to Anya, but he's also dancing with 2 glasses of wine, so I don't know how successful he'll be in that. But with a lot of people, maybe he can like slouch behind them and then go behind another one and then another one. And he's going to go up to Anya and just go, Anya! Big surprise. Bang. Right there in front of you with 2 glasses, one half empty, of Symphonian wine. He stretches out a hand with some Symphonian wine and gives it a swirl. You see the red silky wine swirling, glistening in the light. Or do you? Are you still glazed over?
She's kind of barely sort of focusing, but she I guess looks up at your voice, and she's like, I don't think that would be the best idea.
I mean, personally, we've always found in our culture that no matter the mood, Symphonian wine has a certain way to cheer you up. But also, if you don't want it, you don't have to. But
she turns to the other patron of the bar who is like sat himself down, and she just levels him with a stare, and she's like, fuck off. I'm gonna do intimidation. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, you see as this 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 dark-skinned Azamar fellow who had sat down opposite you looks a little bit put off at first, and then sees the seriousness in your eyes, and very quickly, just with a look of concern in his eyes, for his own safety, gets up and goes away.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't go away. Neumann gets in his way. Neumann sculls his wine, slams the glass down on the table, outstretches his hand like this towards the stranger, and gestures for him to do a quick square dance spin, and then releases him into the crowd as he turns back towards Anya with wine outstretched.
She takes the wine and she passes it to the nearest dancer by. Just in a fluid motion of just
Neumann, in a fluid motion, intercepts with a square dance swirl and grabs the wine again. As with this dancer, he dances in a circle and sends them into the crowd. With wine in hand, he gestures it back to Anya. Now, like I said, you don't have to, but if you don't want it, it's mine. All right, okay? This is expensive stuff.
She says, this is fair. And she gestures to the seat that was previously occupied.
Neumann sits, still unsure as to whether this wine is being wanted or not. He gives it another swirl. But he sort of his head pulling it back, but then it's no, maybe, no.
Do you give him any hint, Anya?
No, she's gone back to sort of watching the crowds and watching Ross do her thing, and yeah.
And takes a sip. Look. Okay, you don't want the wine. Fair enough. But could I perhaps interest you in one of two things? He brings out a gold piece. Now, I'm curious, do gold pieces have heads and tails?
They have different sides to them, yes. So heads and tails is one of the one of the pairings of terms used for them.
So he brings out the gold piece and he goes, if we flip heads, we will go and have a dance. Just a quick one. If it flips tail, I'm going to sit here and we're just going to have a casual chat. Not about anything in particular. We can just chat, sit in silence, or whatever you want. It's fine, but I'm just going to keep you company if it's tails. So, and he flicks the coin towards Anya. What's it going to be?
He's going to grab it out of the air. What do I have to roll for?
That would just simply be a dexterity check.
Okay.
I love that Hafren isn't a bird anymore because now he can do this.
15.
15. It's just not enough. I place it as about an 18, so...
Well, okay, hang on. He was specifically flicking it towards Anya for Anya to catch.
Okay,
I feel like there was a misinterpretation here. He intends for Anya to do the toss. Now, what would you like to do? Fate's in your hands. So, he made it very hard to not catch it.
So in that case, 15 would be...
She tosses the coin towards the ground, and you hear this little... as a rat catches it, and she's like, I do not feel like dancing.
Okay, so Neumann is going to now use... I'm pretty sure I have it. Yeah. He's going to then put up his hand. He's going to close his hand, and with his other hand, he's going to cast Silent Image. And he's going to then open up his hand where a gold coin is in there with tails, not heads. So no dancing, just chat. And he goes, looks like we're just sitting here and just gonna have some good company, I guess. Is that all right with you?
She does a small little smile at the very obvious illusory trick. And she's like, I do not think I could convince you otherwise, regardless.
Okay, he's going to sleight of hand, slip a coin into where he has the imaginary coin.
Okay, roll me a sleight of hand check.
Please work. No, this I don't even think this meets your passive perception. 19. It was like 16,
Yeah,
8.
Hold on. So what is it? Perception?
It would just be your passive perception, which is 29. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I was going to say, I rolled, it was a 25.
So even so, it would be...
The untrained eye, Neumann has just done a very impressive feat. To Anya, Neumann just saw him fumble around in his pocket for a little bit and just slap a coin into his hand at the same time as dispelling silent image, and he just flicks the coins in between his fingers and puts it back in his pouch, thinking he's done like the coolest trick ever. But yeah, so
she just levels you with a look.
Look, I think right now, I think she talk about this sort of stuff a little bit later, and you know what I'm talking about. But right now, I think I'm not asking us to stop, helping people and to stop going on this crazy adventure we've got. But I reckon now's a good opportunity to just slow down and have a bit of a breather. So you can get as much out of tonight as you want, but at the very least, I just want to see a smile and know that deep down inside there is some form of Anya that is okay. Because from what I heard earlier, there's a lot of things bothering you, and I want to give you something that you don't have to worry about. And if that's just a fun night that you'll remember for some time, then I'm happy with that at the very minimum. Or if it's just a quick chat with a friend. So, one, you're not getting rid of me. But two, I just want you to be happy and at the very least enjoy tonight. And I'm sure Ross feels the same way.
She turns and she levels you with a stare, and you can see there's something twinkling behind it, but it hasn't reached the rest of her face yet, and she's like, what if I asked you just to sit quietly with me?
Okay, so, oh god, how can I do this? Neumann is going to... Yeah, here we go. So Neumann goes, yeah, look, it's hard. It's really, really hard. And I don't have a floating light to play with as he begins, tapping his knees. But he will waste a spell slot on this. He's going to cast Fairy Fire on a blunt ball bearing. And he's just going to toss this glowing, it's sort of like a glowing aura around it, sort of like a ball of light, some would say, and he's just going to play with that, and he'd be like, I reckon I could manage for tonight, but I do need help. Food is
good timing. If you are part of the audio-only listeners, Jake's mum just came in and bought him soup. Was that soup?
No, this is spaghetti bolognese with garlic bread.
We love your work, Kylie.
Thanks, Jake's mum. Really setting the scene.
But yeah, so Neumann just keeps on quietly playing with this ball bearing.
Anya, after literally what she identifies as would probably be the limit for Neumann to stay quiet generally, which is about 10 seconds, she watches you do this. which doesn't seem like much until you count it out and you think about Neumann, just the 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. But she, after about 10 seconds, she reaches out and like gently grabs your wrist, and she's like, Neumann, I know you. I would not ask you to be quiet. Just as you know me, and you know that I don't much feel like talking about it. But I appreciate the company.
Happy to oblige. And yeah, he's just going to sit there, and he might say the odd thing. He tries his best, but he will say like the odd thing and be like, oh, what is that guy wearing, right? And like points at them and stuff, and then maybe he'll like clap when
after
Ross
he does
finishes
that,
the song or something.
After he starts pointing out other people, she starts taking a swig of his drink, and she's going to propose they do a little sort of drinking game, just based off, like a little rogues game, just based off guessing where people have been and what their intentions are, just sort of entirely based off that sort of roguish perception and insight on people. And yeah.
So not that your characters will really have any way of knowing this, but just each of you roll insight to see whose judgments are a bit more accurate over the course of the night.
17.
17!
What? I have a +0 as well, by the way. I was like, oh, this is going to be trash.
How do you... yeah, insight is wisdom, so yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. But I don't think they're much making it into a competition as much as just making fun of other people.
Yeah.
But in a kind way of like, you know.
So you guys, like, you get at least a decent amount of, like, surface level things right. Like, you could tell stuff like, okay, this person presents as very bougie. This person likes to... This person wears very poor-fitting clothes, but the way they hold themselves suggests that they are a lot richer than they're letting on. This person, the way that they walk, very they kind of keep to themselves and keep inside themselves in a way that suggests that they are very shy. This person walks in a way of deference that suggests, but dresses very richly and this, like, dresses in a way that is a poor person's perception of a rich person, so they're obviously trying to make themselves seem a lot richer than they are.
Neumann points out an individual who is dancing way over the top, but is taking like the occasional like split second like breath and stop, and then goes back to 110% dancing. And he goes, now this guy looks very confident, and he's going over the top because, and he turns to Anya, and I like to imagine with the role that we both did, which is exactly the same, at the same time we both say he's gonna hurl soon, and then moments later he goes and runs to the bathroom, and we just high-five each other.
Yeah. Anya laughs in a, like, very sort of quiet, subdued way. And she smiles really gently at Neumann. Like, it's not a full smile. There's still, like, a sort of sadness behind it, but she's like, thank you, my friend. I think I needed this.
I think we all need this, to be honest. It's been a big day. But happy to help. And same goes. Thanks for putting up with my my over-the-top everything.
I do not think I would have a choice. There's no changing you, Neumann, and I wouldn't want to.
That's sweet. And then Neumann gives you like this really like genuine smile. And then, yeah, it goes back to pointing out an idiot.
Now that one, asthma, right? Definitely has asthma.
I don't know, maybe bronchitis? I don't know.
I mean, it's just the coughing every time of the vodka. It's like, I understand vodka is hard, but that is way too many shots, and someone who can take their alcohol way too well to be someone who should be coughing that much at the alcohol.
Yes, or maybe perhaps he's just not used to it. I know, and then...
He is still standing. He's gone through 2 bottles of vodka.
Is this person Caius by any chance? Like,
Is Caius asthmatic?
He's not asthmatic, and no, he doesn't drink vodka.
Neumann is going to look at his other party members and see what they're doing as well.
Yeah.
Because last he saw Caius just sit at a bar and have an ale.
Yeah. So, Ross, I presume you're still doing your singing and dancing?
Well, she's probably moved on to another... I'll do the ending of the song we hyped up so much at the end of last episode, and then, she'll move on to a different one. Okay. And on that leg there was a shoe, a rare shoe, a rattling shoe. And the shoe on the leg, and the leg on the louse, and the louse on the hair, and the hair on the flea, and the flea on the tick, and the tick on the worm, and the worm on the feather, and the feather on the bird, and the bird, and the egg, and the egg, and the nest on the leaf, and the leaf on the twig, and the twig on the branch, and the branch on the limb, and the limb on the tree, and the tree, and the hole, and the hole, and the bog, and the bog down in the valley, oh, oh, row the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, oh, rare bog, a rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, oh, oh, row the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, oh, rare bog, a rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley, oh. Thank you.
And there is a roar of applause.
Yep, she uses her tail to collect coins in her tambourine, and then she'll look to see what everyone else in the party is doing.
Yeah, so you see, Anya and Neumann talking and playing their observation game. Bertie and Caius, what does Ross see you two doing?
At that stage, Caius has probably finished his 3rd ale and he's ordering a 4th.
Okay.
I think Bertie's about the same. Still, yeah.
I think we're just sitting next to each other, just drinking.
Quietly drinking.
Ross really, she's only known Caius 3 days, but she wouldn't really have seen him drink a lot before, would she?
No, not really.
In the entire 3 days that you've known Caius, he's never drunk. He's made talk of knowledge of wines, but he's never actually drunk.
Okay. She takes specific note of that. She takes specific note of the fact Anya is smiling. And then she's going to start her next song and just continue for a couple more before she goes to talk to anyone. Because she promised the set.
Okay. Yeah. You notice, just apropos of nothing, that that partway through your second song, this brightly dressed halfling with vivid pink hair picks up a violin and starts accompanying you.
She is over the moon about that.
So cute.
Okay. Yeah. So, Neumann and Anya, Caius and Bertie, anything of note?
Caius just continues drinking until he's about 7 drinks in. And then he's probably going to ask for one of the keys to a room, go up and just,
Oh, well, Bertie has them. So Bertie be like, "Oh, I've got the keys. Yeah.
Oh,
You need to sleep?
Mind if I borrow one of the keys?
Yeah, no, I'll show you where the rooms are. I know the way. And he looks at the keys and he looks a little bit surprised. And then looks back at the innkeepers a little bit surreptitiously. He's like, yeah, let's go. I'll show you where it is. You can rest your head.
Yeah. Okay, so it probably takes you a moment to remember exactly which room is which as far as numbers. You very much still recognize the layout of this place, but you kind of have to follow the numbers along to remind yourself of which room is the one that you've been assigned.
Yeah, so Barry's looking very studiously at all of this, a little bit, again, very wide-eyed at everything. And again,
everything's looking much the same, but a lot, newer, a lot more updated. There's a lot more filigree than there was before. And you come to the door of one of the keys that you have been given. And it's at that point that you realize that this was not your room, but your favorite room to stay in whenever you could. This was probably, at the time that you were living here, the most lavish room in the entire tavern. And whenever it wasn't booked, Piran and Corbin would allow you to occupy it yourself, but of course you had to return to your room or one of the others if it was to be occupied by a paying customer.
Oh, so Bernie's kind of pattering along, trying to make sure that Kais is following him, because he doesn't realize that, I don't know, he hasn't noticed Kai's drink very much, so that he's he might just not feel comfortable around other people. And he does know that Kai sent back an empty bottle or something when he sent him one, when he was sending letters to him. But then when he kind of gets to this room, he kind of just stops and just stares at it for a little bit. He's like, oh, cool, cool. Wow, this is oh, okay. This is one of the nicest rooms in the tavern. That's real big of him. You'll get a good sleep in here. And he he'll open the door up and but again it's quite shaky.
And it is much as you remember it. You notice there are two kind of additional beds that have been brought in, knowing that they were accommodating the five of you in 2 rooms, and they didn't know how you were necessarily going to divide that up. But they suspected, okay, the makeup of the group is as it is, and they suspected that you would want to be in this room, based on your childhood preferences. Much as you remember it, but the additional beds and it's been updated, similar style, but the extra little details.
Wow. Oh well, come in. You probably want to get some sleep in, I imagine, Caius. Did you like the ale? It's pretty good stuff. Probably not as good as what you're used to, of course.
Well, it's all right, I guess.
Do you feeling okay? Do you drink very much, Caius?
No. No. I the occasional wine with dinner, but I just thought that I should have some more. I should have some ale.
Yeah? Well, it was a good idea. And you're feeling a bit sleepy now? Or just funny in the head? Like,
In the head. What? That's yes. What? Yeah,
Just
sleepy. Very
like-
sleepy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, let's get your stuff set up, and you can have a rest. I get it. When I started drinking a lot, it was because it makes me happy. So, do you feel happier at the moment?
Oh, I feel. No. No, I just feel sad, and everything is on an angle, and yeah, well, oh well, and I'd start to like begin the process to unbuckle my armor, which normally is a 10-minute job, and it's going to be like 25.
Yeah.
Do you need help with that?
No, yes, no, maybe, yeah.
Okay, hang on. All right, just helping with the armor, all right? And Bertie will help him unbuckle his armor, which I think he has helped him with before.
Yeah. So I think.
Caius just T-poses. He's just, it's just there like this.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so because drunk Caius isn't doing anything to hinder the process, it cuts it down to about a 5-minute process.
Awesome. I'm just like your squire at this point. Bertie very carefully tries to help him. He's like, oh boy.
Yeah, a lot of sweat smell.
Yeah.
There's like dried blood in there as well. Like it's.
Oh yeah, true, because like Bertie magically healed you, but so when he's like kind of helping your armor out, he just kind of like grimaces a lot when he sees like how bloodied some of your clothes are. And he kind of just like frowns a lot as he's sort of like putting the armor down. He's like, okay, that's all safe. Yeah, do you want like, where do you want me to put it? Like, there's probably, I'll put it in a cupboard here. It's again, this is a room for like rich nobles like yourself, so there's lots of space.
Oh, well, you just leave it over there on the floor. That'll be fine. Then I can keep an eye on it. No, it's not going anywhere. You know.
That'll be good. All right, I'll do that. Awesome, fantastic. And yeah, you still feeling sleepy or sad?
Well, I don't know. I'm feeling. Well, I don't know what I'm feeling really. Just sort of a little sad, a little cold, but also warm, but also cold.
This is your first real experience with alcohol, isn't it, Caius?
So he's had alcohol before, but it's always been like a few fine wines with dinner. Never anything this crass and like this aggressively drunk. Do you want me to roll a save?
Roll a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh no. It's vomit on Bertie.
Oh boy, that's a 30.
Oh my god.
Handles it like a champ.
Yeah, it's good.
I was, if you had failed, I was gonna have you just collapse mid-sentence. Like,
no, he's good. He's like second wind. He's gonna go for a run.
Yeah.
So like, I guess instead, Bertie's like, okay, well, do you want to lie down? Do you want to talk about your feelings?
Oh well,
Or what you're feeling right now?
Well, I just.
Do you want to sit down?
Yes, and I just sit down on the floor wherever I am.
Okay.
My legs just give out from underneath me, and I just rock back on my butt.
Are you okay?
Yeah. What? Yes. Hello. We're down here now.
Okay, Bertie sits down cross-legged in front of Caius. All right. Okay. Well, I can understand your head must be feeling a bit jumbly. This is probably what I was like a very long time ago. It's good though. So, yeah, you've had drinking with dinner and stuff, but yeah, not so much like this, or not ale like this before, I take it.
Well, the ale is, I haven't had this sort before. It's a little bit, it's like drinking dirt.
Well.
People say it gets the job done. I don't know what job it's getting done, but it's
Well,
that's what people say.
I know for me it just makes me stop thinking about stuff, so that's, yeah, you probably got a more refined palate, I guess, since that's how you grew up. But yeah, it'll like ease soon. We better make sure you drink some water later on as well. You're gonna have a bad headache.
Yes.
But yeah, you just, is there any reason why you wanted to drink tonight?
Well, I think I was just, I don't know. I wanted to drink because people say that when they drink, they feel better about things, but I don't think I feel better. I just feel just like, how did we get on the floor?
You sat down, kind of.
Right.
We're sitting now.
Okay. Where was I? Yes. Well, I just, you know how sometimes you just want things to happen the way you want them to.
Yeah.
And then they don't.
Yeah.
But then you go back and you say the same thing and everyone's like, no, it'll happen this way now, and then it's still not. And you're like, why is this happening?
Is it because you're thinking about people not listening to you again?
Well, yes, I guess that's exactly what it is. I just, everyone before, no one really sort of pays attention to me because I'm like this. But then the one time that people say that they'll pay attention, they do right up until it's not convenient for them, and then I'm not here again.
I get it, man. Do you feel like that a lot with us, especially?
Well, yes. I mean, yes. I guess it happened a bit before, but when I was, back when I was in the academy, when I was a young boy, everyone sort of listened to whoever was in charge, and sometimes that was me, and sometimes it wasn't me, and you'd listen to whoever is in charge, because they know what's best for the people that they're in charge of. And yes. And if you don't listen, then that's bad for the whole team. But no one really thinks like that out here. I guess I'm just not used to the mercenary life, I guess. Everyone's sort of different.
I guess, we're not a really good team normally. So that's yeah, we're not good at listening to each other, I guess. But I think people appreciate you, Caius. But I can definitely understand sometimes people don't make you feel like you are. I appreciate you. I'm sorry if I said anything that made you think otherwise. Again, I think you're real smart. And you do loads of cool stuff. But yeah. It sucks, man. Yeah. Did you feel... I know you felt real bad about what happened earlier today. It really sucks, dude.
I should probably expect it. Yeah, people didn't listen to me before, and then why should they listen to me now? Even though I've just had a conversation with them, saying that people should trust people more, and then people don't. But that's fine.
It's not fine, Caius. But he will reach into his backpack and he'll pull out some of the croissants that he didn't eat from the banquet because it's too uncomfortable to eat in front of everyone after humiliating himself. He'll be like, "Hey, have one of these."
Oh. And he will.
Have as many as you like. There's probably also some crumpled up pastries that he bought a while ago that he'll pull
He's just going to grab a croissant and just like bite off one of the corners and just like sit there.
Ooh. Yeah, man, like, it's not good. It's not good. And like, I know I didn't want to bring it up because I like having you around, but like, I know that's why you didn't want to be around us last time and why you didn't have much of a choice because you had to go, but like, I know you were thinking of leaving us last time too, so I wish we could be nicer to you. All of us.
I think I just have higher expectations than what I should. I think I just, everyone's so nice and so good at what they do, and I mean, I know everyone knows what they're doing, and in the last fight when we were fighting another dragon, there's a lot of those. They happen a lot. I haven't seen one before I met you guys, and now I've seen more than I thought I would.
Yeah, I gotta start working on some dragon repellent, I think. There's just so many of them.
Yeah. Yes, well, no, I know that it's not that people just rush into combat, because I know that they're good at what they do. I know that, because I've seen them all do stuff. But it's the fact that they all said that they would follow, and then they all went back on their word.
I think I can get what you're saying, man. It does suck that we'll listen to you, and then yeah, I can get it. People just instantly kind of went to rush it anyway straight after that. Yeah, it's bad. They shouldn't have done that. I should have said more stuff to stop people to listen to you again. Like, I gotta get better at doing that myself. But
they make their own decisions. It's fine.
Yeah, but it's not good if, like, you feel bad about it. Like I said earlier, like, people don't listen to me that much, but, like, that's fine because it's just me, but, like, someone like you, like, I mean, you're a noble, you know what you're doing, especially, like, as you said, if you feel that most of us only respect you in the combat stuff, then that should be the thing people respect you for, but I don't know, man, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
How would you like everyone to treat you?
Well, I don't know. I just want people to trust that if someone's, says they know what they're doing, that they know what they're doing. And we all work together as one group.
We're real bad at doing that, Caius.
Well, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I've noticed. Every fight, we all seem to just cock it up.
Yeah.
It goes so poorly.
You're pretty right, actually.
All the time.
We pretty much suck. I mean, obviously. I'm definitely king of that, but, like, yeah, we're not good at what we do. So it's hard, I guess, when you are good at what you do to deal with all of that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just worried. I tried to take a bit more charge because I saw what happened when we all went our separate ways before, and Ross died.
Yeah, I know.
And I was there, and I couldn't do anything, but no one else was there because no one was in charge, no one was following, and we all just did our own thing, and someone died because of it.
Yeah, I know.
And that's people shouldn't die. It's not good for them.
You're right, man. You're right, Caius. And that's why I was so and he again starts to ice over a little bit, and then just squeezes his eyes shut and just clenches his fist. He's like, that's why I was just so pissed off with what happened, that with the fight just then, earlier today, again, yeah, people should have listened to you, and then the second we run into a fight, people running every which way, and then, I mean, the thing that happened to Ross just recently, she just ran into 4 people, that was so reckless, and then it put you into trouble, because then you felt like you had to go and rescue her, just made me really angry, because, I mean, I saw how upset you were because she died back then, sorry, it's just, yeah, I agree. People should be more careful, and people should listen to you, and this is probably pretty stupid coming from me, because I'm not a really good person, but people should think about what happens with others, so that's why I want to get better at the fight and stuff. I mean, obviously you don't have to stay with us at all. You can try, if you want to be here, I'd like you to be here, but you don't have to be. But if you are going to be, I want to get a bit better at protecting you, so you can trust me to help you with that, with Ross and all that, or if people are being reckless, Anya or Neumann's not normally too reckless. He is in conversations, but generally he thinks a bit more, which but yeah, sorry, I just shouldn't try not to get a bit, yeah. Sorry about that, Caius.
It's okay, Bertie. I think I was angry before, but now I think I just need to come to terms with the fact that people are just different. And I think everyone will do what they need to do and what they think is best. And if people aren't comfortable in that environment, then find a new one.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, I don't know. I've been thinking for a while about whether this is right for me, whether I should just head back to Durham and that. And I point my finger at Bertie, probably a little bit too close, but that is talk for another time.
Yeah.
Now is the time for sleep.
Okay.
And I imagine you probably fall asleep on the floor.
He does not.
Okay.
He just stares very pointedly at Bertie, slightly lopsided. And just stares.
Okay.
Do you need help getting into bed, Caius? Or?
No, I'm fine. I'm good. Don't even worry about it. You go and have a good night. And I will also have a good night.
Yeah. Well, I gotta warn you, man. We'll probably split it up and have boys and girls or something. So Neumann might be in soon. I'll try and organize that for you, but I'll try to make sure that we're not too noisy. Okay.
Oh, goody.
And unless you want to be alone, I can probably squeeze everyone else into the other room. We can
bring everyone in. We don't need a second room.
No, it'll be fine. Look, I'll give you some peace. Thanks for talking to me again, man. He pats him on the shoulder.
You're welcome, Bertie.
Can I get you anything?
No.
Okay. All right. What I'm gonna do? He stands up a little bit awkwardly, and he goes over and gets a blanket, and he drags it over to Kais. He's like, I'm gonna give you this blanket now because he said you're feeling a bit warm and cold at the same time. Okay. Good. And you have a good rest. I will get you some water, and I will get Neumann later, but I'll give you a bit of a rest. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and if you need anything... we gotta discuss this later. I can't... And he, stares intently at Kais. He's like, can you hear that in your head?
Do I hear anything in my head?
No.
No. Just normal voices.
That's the question for another day. That's okay. It's my shitty magic. I'll sort that out later. Yeah, if you need anything, just yell. I'll come find you.
Okay.
I'll be back later, okay?
Don't even worry.
Cool. Okay. Sleep well, Kais. I'll be back later.
Bye.
And Bertie gets up, he's very hurries downstairs.
As soon as Bertie leaves, I open up the window and I crawl out.
No.
Okay. We'll deal with that later.
Not what I expected. Holy crap. I'm like, well, what's Neumann going to do when he walks into the room?
Yeah. Okay, so Bertie, as you go downstairs, you get back probably around about just in time to catch the end of Ross's performance.
The final song.
Yeah.
He's kind of so he hurries downstairs and then sort of just kind of watches from the fringes of the tavern as she's finishing her song, kind of just the second he's kind of run away from Kais, who's trying to be cheerful to, he's just slumps a bit. So he just watches Ross finish her song.
Okay, I'll do my. She did a big intro to this song that Bertie missed and that Anya and Neumann would have heard. Which is this ladies and gentlemen, and those who do not identify as either. Today has been a long day. Today has been a hard day. Today has been a tough day. But I thank you for your generosity in this time towards me. Know that it does not benefit me, but it benefits you, the people of Deasil, and the lovely innkeepers here. Give it up for the innkeepers, everyone! I thought I would close tonight with something that we all need, which is something new, something you've never heard before. As many of you may have been able to tell, I don't know if that's obvious or not, but I happen to be a bard. And, I've tangled up in my headphones now. A bard. And that, of course, means I have many bardic friends. Now, not all bards study music, of course, but some of them do, and some of them happen to write some beautiful songs. And I thought tonight I would sing one for you all that was written by a bardic friend of mine. And I hope that it brings joy to your hearts like it brought joy to mine. Where are my lyrics? Then you'll see that she can't hide it, filled with sparks that come alight, and there's a feeling written on her face. Blooming trees and sparkling diamonds, every moment so excited, makes you wish that you could just embrace it. When you see her going over every time, it's a simple dream, and it's running around and up and down her mind, ever flowing like a stream. And then you'll see that she can't hide it, filled with sparks that come alight, and there's a feeling written on her face. And this is probably when Birdie comes down. Blooming trees and sparkling diamonds, every moment so excited, makes you wish that you could just embrace it. And I'm assuming everyone applauds, but while they're applauding, anyone who's paying particular notice of Ross's face with you guys, like, she's got her performer face on, like this is clearly like an act, she's doing her bows, but there's just something about it that seems a little frozen, like something that maybe the song almost made her sad in a way you wouldn't expect from a song like that. And then she's going to do all her bows and do all that. She's going to take the tambourine full of coin up to the bar, and she's going to empty the whole thing onto the bar. I'm assuming there's a lot of coin.
Yeah.
It's probably been about an hour, and I rolled a 33.
Yeah. It's not a lot of, like, gold or platinum, but there's a lot of coin here. A lot of coppers, decent amount of silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's going to talk to the barman about, like, how much of it goes towards the rooms for at least the night. She's going to talk about how much of it covers the tab for drinks and food, how much of it is kind of a donation.
Yeah.
And also just maybe tax on, because she is still under the impression that we're leaving tomorrow. But she is going to say, and if we do stay longer, can I count on this arrangement to happen again tomorrow night?
Of course.
Fantastic.
I will say, as you wrapped up your performance, before you went over to the bar, the halfling who was playing with you goes in to shake your hand and go, "Been a pleasure playing with you. The name's Spoon."
Spoon! That's a wonderful name. Thank you so much for accompanying me. There's a viol player back home who often does these songs with me. It was very much like being back there.
Glad to hear it. And they go to offer you their hand to shake.
Ross shakes it.
Okay. Alright.
Concerned?
Die instantly.
Concerned?
No. And then well, if you're staying around for a couple of days, maybe we'll see a bit more of each other.
Mayhaps. I don't know how long I'm in town, but I'm certainly always ready to collaborate.
All right. I look forward to seeing you around. And they walk off.
Ross takes note of them. She did not know a dice got rolled when they shook hands, so she is not suspicious at all.
I mean, you could roll me a perception check if you'd like, just to see if you would have that, like.
That's another natural 20.
Oh, wow.
Oh, with my perception, that's a 26.
Okay, yeah. So
these are blessed dice.
Yeah. On your way to take the coins to the bar, you do notice just casually going through like your pockets that you could have sworn that there was like that you had the cameo of the platinum cameo of the flying cat in your pocket somewhere.
Ross frantically searches her pockets.
And you notice it is missing.
That little... Can Ross see them?
No, they have disappeared. But by the time you notice, they have left.
Ross finishes her calm transaction at the bar. She goes over to Neumann and Anya and says, I think I saw Caius already go to bed. I'm sure Birdie will help organize the rooms. I have a deal to go settle, and then she's going to go outside and see if she can find them.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check, and then we will see. So, Bertie,
the dice did not deliver.
Are you going to catch up with Anya and Neumann?
Yeah, so Bertie watches like Ross walk out and he's like, "Hey guys, I forgot I have the keys. I was thinking girls and boys probably. Anya, Ross just ran out. There's your key. Caius is very drunk. So he's probably gonna snore even more loudly tonight. Bless him. But yeah.
I will take Ross's key to her.
Yeah. Which, you can deal with it with her. Neumann, he's yeah.
She Hey, get out of it. Sorry. She digs around in her pack, and she pulls out. Get off! Sorry, I have a tiny little man who's decided to attack my legs under the table. I'll just say she pulls out her water skin, and she passes it across, and she's like, make sure Caius has water.
Oh yeah, no, I know how to deal with people who are drunk. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just Ross, anyway, and she sort of gets up really awkwardly, and she almost seems smaller, like tucked in on herself, and a little bit clumsily, which you wouldn't expect from her. She knocks the table a little bit as she is leaving, almost like she's not paying like the attention that she usually would in getting places, and she walks out.
Okay. Cool.
Out where? Like out towards the room or out?
To follow Ross, following where Ross went.
Okay.
Outside the inn.
And Neumann, what are you doing?
Well, right. Well, I sort of wanted to talk to Ross.
Oh, well, she's the lady of the moment. Look, I'll give you the key. I can get in the door anyway. I gotta make sure the Caius hasn't like puked on his feet or something like that.
I also want to talk to Caius as well.
Oh, okay.
Because today's been a big day, and I've definitely got lots of stuff I want to say to everyone. You too, as well, Birdie. I noticed some really weird stuff happening with you today, actually. So.
It's the weird day.
I know. Did you? I'm not sure how you're feeling, but did you want to? Maybe we can all just find out where Ross is right now, and then we can all go to bed later and have a chat. Or do you reckon we should just go?
I'm worried about Caius, but okay, yeah, sure. Let's go find Ross. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to.
Oh God, I really don't want to dictate what we do. This is.
No, I just want to know we need to work as a team. You're right. We should go find Ross. No worries. Let's go.
Like I did see Caius have a few drinks, so he's probably asleep right now anyways. So.
I hope so. Yeah, okay. He keeps like looking back up towards the stairs like and like again he's like the like ears start to like ice over and he's like, oh okay, cool, let's go find Ross. Yep, let's go.
And as Neumann gets up, he sort of reassuringly says, look, when we get back, if Caius isn't asleep, I'll have a chat with him, and if he's not feeling well, I can make that better. I specifically have a spell I've used before that can help with this sort of situation. I use it on myself all the time, and it works wonders.
You're better at talking to people anyway, Neumann, so I'm sure you'd be great at that. Yeah.
If you're worried about him with the alcohol, then yeah, I can talk to him and see if he wants that.
That's part of it, but yeah, no, that's fine.
He puts his hand up in like a salute and goes, "You can trust me," and then he sort of marches out the door.
Okay. So, Ross, what was your investigation check? And I should make sure Caius rolls a stealth check.
It was investigation.
Investigation check.
Okay, that's the same as my perception. That's fine, because my dice for once rolled quite poorly, and that was a 15.
15. But
So I'm assuming...
What was Caius's stealth?
18!
18?
Which
I have a +5, but I'm not wearing armor.
Are you fucking kidding me? Well, I mean, Ross was not looking for Caius. She was looking for Spoon.
Yeah, where's
Yeah. Yeah. You find neither. But Anya and then eventually Neumann and Bertie catch up with you.
Ross, sorry, you'll need the key.
You can go to bed first if that's the issue. I'm looking for someone.
No, we all have our own keys. I couldn't. I had to get away anyway. It's fine.
Oh, that's. Yeah. No. Sorry.
No. Don't. What's happened? Who are you?
That little pink-haired halfling, Spoon, who I thought was a pretty decent person, stole something that I've had for about as long as I've known you guys. So, it doesn't carry a lot of personal significance, but it's the principle of the matter.
And this thing is important to you?
The night before I met you all, I went on that solo reconnaissance mission at the Maester's tower to kind of work out if his tower was anything like the governor's tower, and if he had any plans for the governor's tower, which is where I found all the information we had when we went on that mission. And he had a familiar, which was a winged cat, who did not take particularly well to me, so maybe in a fit of emotion, I may or may not have stolen a platinum cameo the Maester had of this winged cat in his room when I was also stealing the plans for the tower. Look, it's...
Ross, it is fine. She pulls Hafren out from her cape and sets him on the ground. And she's like, "Do you have scenting powers? Should I transform you to like something that does?"
Scenting powers, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hafren briefly turns back into imp form to be able to speak. Like,
You can speak to me regardless with the mental link.
Yeah. But like, just
he just wants me to hear.
Talking.
Yeah.
All right. So, I have a decent sense of smell as a rat. What are we looking for?
The pink-haired halfling.
All right. I'll see what I can do. And he bamfs into a rat form, scurries off.
In the meantime, Anya wants to sort of look for tracks. I can't remember what sort of role that would be.
It is a survival check. Meanwhile, Ross, can you roll me a Constitution saving throw?
Saving?
Yes.
You said?
Yes.
Okay, that's a natural 19. So that's a dirty 20
Okay.
on con.
You feel this kind of weird tingling effect, but are able to kind of push it.
Where in my body?
In your
hands.
In your hands
stomach.
initially. And you feel like it was trying to spread out, but like, yeah, you're able to kind of rein it in.
That was a 33 for
33. Yeah, so you see there are bits and pieces of kind of kicking up of dust and dirt that seem to indicate halfling tracks. Or at least the tracks of a
I'm assuming
halfling-sized
Hafren,
creature.
like, because he is a little rat, is already gone.
Yes.
So she's like, this way. And she sort of tugs Ross along with her.
Bye.
Probably at this point that Bertie and Neumann catch up with you.
Did we end up seeing them, or like did we get there and then they ran off again, or like how's the timing here? Because we had a little chat before we left.
You'd probably catch up just as they're about to leave.
Does anyone spot Caius?
I mean, Newman's been looking around.
Yeah,
for
Newman,
you guys
Newman
in particular.
And Bertie, roll me perception checks.
Can I roll advantage because it's Kai's perception?
I can smell him.
Yeah.
That's all right.
What's my perception? Sorry, guys. Oh, an 8. So an 18.
18. So you spot, like, you're looking for Anya and Ross, but then what did you get, Neumann?
25.
25.
For investigation, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you spot something out of the corner of your eye that is like this human-like figure with long blonde, like dirty blonde hair. Neumann, you see it and you recognize it immediately as Caius. Caius, what are you doing outside?
So, he's dropped a lot of like his happy, bubbly demeanor, and he's now just sort of walking, not with any sort of purpose. He's just out getting air. He's not looking where he's going. He's got his head down, and he's just sort of walking along, kicking some dust.
Okay.
He is just in a tunic, and he's got a cape on as well, which is like blowing in the breeze, which there isn't any. But it's still blowing for some reason, and and that's it. He's
All right.
probably, I don't know whether he would have grabbed like his staff or something as like a walking stick, but he definitely doesn't have any of his swords or his shield.
Okay.
We'll say he's got his staff, but that's it.
Neumann is going to not like yell it, but he's going to be like, Caius? What's it? And he turns to Betty like, did you put him in the room? That's Caius.
What?
And then Neumann just lets out the biggest sigh and like turns back to where Ross and Anya are like scuffling off to, turns back to Caius, turns to Birdie, goes bang, 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 and he goes,
Well, no, because Ross, as soon as she got that tingling in her hand, she was like, Anya, I'm not sure we should follow Spoon anymore.
What? Why? What is happening?
Because my hands just started tingling and I don't know why. And the last thing I touched was their hand.
Roll me another Constitution saving throw.
Fuck.
ew, germs.
Oh! Sanitize your hands, Ross. Jeez.
Con saving?
Yeah.
That's a 4.
Okay, so as Ross says...
Can I roll something to identify what's happening?
Roll me an Arcana check. Although you definitely see you see the result.
That's
definitely.
a 19. She doesn't have any pluses to Arcana, so that's very good for her.
I mean, this is probably a very easy thing for her to guess because she is seeing the effects play out very, very directly before her very eyes. As Ross goes from her usual shade of kind of a lavendery, lilac-y purple to a vivid green.
You're green.
And Anya, you hear a giggling in the distance. And that's where we're going to leave it for this episode.
Oh.
Darby, oh no, actually no. We'll talk about this. This is very interesting.
What even is this episode?
Merry Crisis, everyone.
Yeah, Merry Chrysler.
I hope this showed our very Christmassy Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Someone got way too drunk. Someone played games where they made fun of people. Someone sang some songs.
Someone's playing some pranks.
And then
It's literally Christmas.
Someone was colored green.
Yeah.
With the red hair?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god,
Anyway.
that's amazing.
Goodbye.
Sorry for listening.
Bye.
Thank you all. Bye.
Listening.
See you.
Love you.
I got Photoshop open. Let's go.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Well, not Photoshop.
Green.
Oh, Green Ross.
Yeah.
She's gonna look like Shrek, which is
Not
the
Photoshop,
sexiest kind of look
people
for the holidays.
Yeah. Would her eyes have changed color too?
No.
Okay, then I'm gonna have. Oh.
Oh, poor little Caius. What's he this little bastard off to?
What's the little rat?
I wasn't
This little rat
expecting
up
the
to?
Caius chaos to come into things as well.
Yeah.
Oh, well, depressed Caius chaos, but yeah. Oh man. Interesting.
I had, honestly, for the last week, I've had so much planned and I've been thinking of like, I'm going to have this conversation with Ross. I'm going to have this conversation with Anya. And I'm like going through my head and I'm like, this is going to be the best one. And then it was only as I had Kai sit down and order a drink that I was like, fuck it, he's just going to get drunk.